So let's talk about the numbers at this stage. And when we talk about numbers, let's take a look at the bigger picture. We have our election intelligence dashboard, and the election intelligence dashboard will get us the big numbers and the bigger picture. So this is assembly elections. We'll talk about street matrix, but let's first go to Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh is where the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath made a statement. So Uttar Pradesh phase 2 is what we are talking about. Let's take a look at the seat matrix in Uttar Pradesh. Of course, in Uttar Pradesh, we are at this point of time taking a look. Give me a moment as I try and get this right. We talk about the situation in Uttar Pradesh. Now we are on which phase? We talk about phase 2, 55 seats in phase 2 in Uttar Pradesh, and this is that belt that goes to poll. Now this is extremely crucial. 55 seats, the BJP had 38 each time. Let's look at the seat matrix in this. When we look at the party-wise seat matrix in Uttar Pradesh, the BJP in 2017 had 38, the Indian National Congress had 2, the Samajwadi Party had 15. Now this becomes extremely interesting, because whether it's the caste matrix or the religion matrix, that becomes extremely important in this belt. Now, of the 55 seats, 47 of these 55, and this is where the Muslim vote becomes extremely crucial. The BJP incidentally had 131. The Samajwadi Party had 114, the BSP none, the Congress 2 in this belt. So 47 of 55 seats in phase 2 impacted by what is known as the minority vote or the Muslim vote. India Today's Poulomi Saha joins us from Ground Zero. We also have, she's at Shahjahanpur. We have Aishwarya at Bareilly. Abhishek Anand joins us from Muradabad, and we will talk to them about the tremendous enthusiasm that voters are basically showing, at least as of now. But when you talk about the Muslim vote, and Poulomi, I want to understand from you. You're in Shahjahanpur, 6 seats here. The BJP had won 5. And explain this to us. What worked for the BJP in 2017? What is the situation currently?
Well, as far as the 55 seats that go to polls today in the second phase of the elections are concerned, Gaurav, 38 were won by the Bharatiya Janata Party in 2017, 15 by the Samajwadi Party and 2 by the Congress. Remember that the SP and the Congress were in alliance in the 2017 elections, and that was after BJP in fact saw an exponential jump in their fortunes in 2017 in this particular belt, which is of course considered to be a Muslim-dominated belt, because there are several constituencies where the population, the Muslim population, is close to about 50% of the electorate which polls in those regions, especially in Saharanpur, in Muradabad, in Rampur, in Amroha as well. As far as Shahjahanpur is concerned, while the dominance of Muslims is not much over here, and the BJP has performed well over here, 5 out of 6, as you pointed out earlier, they do face a stiff challenge from the Samajwadi Party, RLD combine in these elections. We also know that Behenji has also, of course, launched her candidates across the belt in this region. Some of them, of course, the critics of the BSP, especially the SP Congress, are saying are dummy Muslim candidates in order to split the Muslim vote. That is the allegation against the BSP in these elections. But of course, the SP and the Congress hoping that the Muslim vote bank, in fact, predominantly settles for the SP Congress combine in this election. So the BJP faces an uphill task in this second phase of the elections, especially, like I said, because much of it is Muslim dominated. But the BJP definitely has given one Muslim candidate, a first for the Bharatiya Janata Party in these Uttar Pradesh elections since 2014. In fact, the general elections then, they've given one Muslim candidate, but that is an ally candidate belonging to the
Apna Dal. Give me a moment. I'll come back to you and we'll discuss what you pointed. Poulomi, what was extremely important, dummy candidates. We'll talk about dummy candidates, but let me quickly cut across to Abhishek Anand joining us from Moradabad. And when we look at the picture in Moradabad, Abhishek, of the 6 seats in Moradabad, the BJP had won 2 and 4 had gone to the Samajwadi Party. And this is where the Samajwadi Party is hoping, at least hoping, to consolidate much more in this entire belt.
Well, yes. Well, Gaurav, politics in this particular area revolves around these religious lines. 50% population of many these constituency are Muslims, but at the same time, as you can see, the politics on caste lines are also there. Apart from Brahmins in this particular area, Moradabad city, there are Sainis, which are dominant voters in some constituencies nearby, and there are Rajputs, which are and Jats are also here, which are a dominant community in nearby constituencies. In Moradabad city, the BJP has fielded the incumbent MLA, Ritesh Kumar Gupta, while the Congress has fielded, and Congress, SP, RLD Alliance and BSP, all these 3 opposition parties have fielded Muslim candidates. So there will be an interesting fight on this seat, as there is only one non-Muslim candidate in all the major parties, and rest of the opposition parties have fielded Muslim candidates. Again, the morning interview of Yogi Adityanath has also raked up some issues, and the caste politics are also involving in these elections. Gaurav.
Oh, absolutely. And when we move from Moradabad to Bareilly, Aishwarya, while in Moradabad, the Samajwadi Party had 4 out of 6, but when you move to Bareilly, the Bharatiya Janata Party had all 9. And, you know, Abhishek was talking about the early morning interview of Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. The country moves and functions by constitution and not Sharia. What's the picture at Bareilly?
Well, Gaurav, you are speaking about what's the picture. So let's start by showing you the long queues that we can see here in Bareilly. People are turning up in large numbers. Everyone wants to vote. However, the polling percentage has not been so much. If we talk about the first 2 hours of polling, that is between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., it has been around 9%. But the authorities and the political parties are now hoping for this number to increase. And you are right, Bareilly, all 9 seats were in Bharatiya Janata Party's kitty. We will have to see what happens this time. However, you know, I have been speaking with a couple of voters, and development definitely is one of the big issues. They are talking about law and order also. See, you know, you will be able, I'll ask my camera person to show you. Women are also turning up in large numbers. So, you know, we have the women factor also, which has been working for the Bharatiya Janata Party in 2014, 2017, as well as 2019 elections. Now, which way will the women voters go this side? Law and order, again, a very big issue for them. We'll have to wait and watch. But let me also tell you, it looks like it will be a very tough fight between the Samajwadi Party. Congress also has some say here, at least in Bareilly, and the Bharatiya Janata Party. But yes, voters are very enthusiastic. It's bright and sunny now. And we are seeing long queues. In fact, Santosh Gangwar, who's the MP, has just gone inside, Gaurav. He's casting his vote. We'll try and catch him once he comes out. But at the moment, the voter turnout in Bareilly stands around 9%. Gaurav.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, this dummy candidates, the dummy Muslim candidates that you were talking about, Poulomi, bring us details, because here in this phase, the Muslim vote becomes extremely important. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when he was in Saharanpur, while campaigning in Saharanpur, the Prime Minister appealed to Muslim women. Freedom from triple talaq, one district, one job, the woodwork of Saharanpur. The appeal is to reach out to all, but does that appear to be working?
Well, you know, we'll have to find out on March 10th if that actually worked. But the BJP is doing that. It is specifically targeting Muslim women. They do realize that over here, the competition is very stiff across these 55 seats that are polling today in the second phase of these elections because of the predominance of the Muslim vote in these constituencies that go to polls today. And as a result of which, what the Bharatiya Janata Party, they do realize that they are not going to get the Muslim votes, but they're targeting targeting the Muslim women. And that's why the specific appeal which was made by the Prime Minister from Saharanpur when he campaigned here on the day that the first phase of polling was happening on February 10. He in fact made an appeal to the Muslim women and said that we abolished triple talaq, and there are those who in fact when you celebrated it and appreciated and chanted slogans in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party and appreciated Modi, at that time there were people who in fact criticized you, in fact opposed you as well. These are the people who want to keep you in in the sort of dark ages. They don't want you to move forward, and it is for your own progress that you should in fact come out and vote for the Bharatiya Janata Party. So security, women's security, that is again another plank that the BJP is using in order to hopefully woo the Muslim women vote bank in these elections, because that is going to be extremely crucial. If at all it has to eke out any sort of dividends for itself in the predominant Muslim seats, then it is the Muslim women that the Bharatiya Janata Party is banking on. And of course, the alliance otherwise, the SP Congress alliance, Gaurav, is in fact telling the Muslim vote bank that, be very wary of dummy Muslim candidates, quote unquote, which they believe that the BSP or OAC are setting up in order to split the Muslim vote. So that has been their appeal to the electorate.
The dummy Muslim votes according to the Samajwadi Party, and this is where the question arises that are Muslims vote bank? Are they voting in bloc en masse for the Samajwadi Party to keep the BJP out? Is that actually happening, or are they voting on issues? And when we talk about issues, suddenly there's an issue that's cropped up. Abhishek, you're in Muradabad. Is this hijab suddenly a big issue, and do we see a consolidation because of hijab? You've been speaking to a lot of people on ground. How are they reacting to a controversy in Karnataka?
Well, Gaurav, the hijab controversy, it is a kind of a thing especially in this part of Uttar Pradesh. It's a very major political thing, very major political tool for the political parties. This the mudslinging over the hijab controversy has been here since the start of the election campaigns. All the opposition leaders are trying to cash this and are trying to consolidate Muslim votes. But again, as you can see, there are multiple Muslim candidates, and the candidates are also strong. So the voting pattern, are the Muslim votes going to be consolidated to the Samajwadi Party, or the other candidates of BSP and Congress will damage the Muslim vote bank, which the Samajwadi Party considers as its own? Gaurav.
Fair enough.